My Time in Evershine is part of the My Time series, and basically you have My Time in Portia, which was the first game, and My Time in Sandrock, which was the second game. My Time in Portia, I believe, came out in about 2015, whereas My Time in Sandrock, I believe, came out last year, 2023. There was supposed to be a mobile game, which was supposed to be, I believe, Project Me. My Time in Evershine, they have some similarities, but because they got rid of the mobile game and then just full-fledged, we're just going to make another game, My Time series. This is going to be it. So there is some lore. We'll go over that. But basically, I'm going to show you guys the trailer. And then we'll talk about, the lore of the My Time series. And then we'll go ahead and talk about the characters, what's going to be new about this game. I've been following the Discord, and I've been following the Reddit pages. As far as I'm tracking, they have Discord, Reddit, Facebook. I haven't checked to see if they have Instagram, but they are on Steam. And the Kickstarter will be starting tomorrow, September 24th, 2024. So if you haven't downloaded Kickstarter, go ahead and download Kickstarter before. I have never used Kickstarter before. I've never backed a game, but because I love this game so much, I will more than likely be a willing participant. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into the video. Evershine facts. Okay, so let's go through the facts. Okay, this is what they put out today So today is the 23rd of September 2024, and at 9:27 they created their fact page on Discord. So some of the stuff they talk about is, are you worried the project might take a long time for the Kickstarter to do a full launch? So basically Pathea has just basically come out with saying, luckily, we've had 2 successful games. So we're hoping that this will, now we know the process. Now we know what it takes for optimization and putting it out on multiple devices. So I believe it won't take as long as it took for My Time at Portia and My Time at Sandrock. So they're hoping for the alpha version to backers, people who back the Kickstarter, that early access will be early next year. When people say early next year, I'm thinking first quarter. So I wouldn't really stress as much until March of next year, if they're trying to play it safe. But hopefully it comes out sooner. Maybe they'll surprise us. One of the other questions was, will Evershine ever have a higher hardware, requirements? So basically they're saying if Sandrock runs on your game system, then Evershine will run on your game system, other than what I was saying about, switch port. All the languages that are going to be in Evershine when it comes out are English, French, Spanish, German, Russian, Japanese, Korean, Thai, and simplified traditional Chinese. They went over the whole AI debacle, and basically they just put out that they don't use AI unless it is their own creative's work, and they can't help it if the systems that they use, like Photoshop, where it's automatically integrated, but it's not them basically stealing anybody else's artwork. If people are that into AI Pathea is very against AI. And then they're asking, has the design of Evershine been influenced by Project Me? We touched into that earlier. Yeah, there's some lore from Project Me. They really wanted to try to detach from Project Me and make it their own game. So around like 9:30 this morning, they put out what platforms, this would be on. So basically on Steam. The only problem I have on Steam, and something that I'm really hoping happens, it was on Porsche, but it wasn't on Sandrock, is they make it accessible MacBook users. Like, having a Switch, and then having to adapt, and then having a MacBook, and having to adapt. I really like these games, and I really want to support these games, buy these games, but because there's limited access on certain systems, it kind of sometimes would make me not want to get it, but I'm such a supporter. But yeah, and if I haven't mentioned it, it'll be on PS5 and Xbox. So Steam, Xbox, and PS5. And basically, how long will the main storyline of my time at Evershine take to complete? So it'll be as much content as Porsche, but not as much as Sandrock. I was watching some other videos, and it was mentioned that about only 20% of players actually finish Sandrock. I think some people get to the point where like they're burnt out, or they get to the point they want to be at, and then they just make a bunch of different save files and marry a bunch of different characters. So I think nobody really actually plays the full entirety of it. So I think they're dwindling down on that, and just making it about storylines and how Porsche was. And what's next? Basically, so they talk about the core romanceables. They're saying it's just the core romanceables. So there'll be those 8, but there will be more people to romance. However, they're gonna have more of that, the storylines of like Pablo in Sandrock, and so not a whole lot of content, but for the core romanceables, it'll be content like for Logan and Fang or whatever. So like a deep dive, like more of a storyline. So yeah, and I've showed you some of the characters like Avery, Ragnar, and Freya, or just a few of them. Let's see. I guess there was an issue with characters or NPCs in Sandrock teleporting, so they're aware of the issue, and they're saying they're addressing the issue to where it won't really be in the next game, and basically they're just going to touch on that. And yeah, they're going to touch on that, and they're going to try to make it feel more realistic. So the next question was, will there be more diverse dating activities and varied confession mechanics, including reverse confessions? So that was a little, I think a lot of people want something that's reverse or whatever. They want, if you're like, the woman character of a game or whatever, but not all the male characters or men characters will propose to you. I don't think a lot of people like that, so I think more people want to make sure that there are reverse proposals. So yeah, that's something that Pathea is working on. They want to enrich the dating activities. So yeah, that is something that's being worked on. How will the multiplayer experience be, and can players marry each other? Yes. So basically they're saying that multiplayer experience will be the single player story in co-op, with the key difference of being that you can enjoy it with your friends and family, and And then basically it's a player hosted session and you can marry each other. So if you have a partner that you want to play the game with, I know in Sandrock for the multiplayer, you couldn't marry your partner. Well, in Evershine, you are able to marry your partner, like your real-time partner. So, what else do we have here? There was some people did notice that there's a hunger bar. So before I even get to the hunger bar, we'll talk about the difficulty. So with this game, there will actually be difficulty settings. So, there's probably going to be, beginner, intermediate, advanced. Most people might want to start on beginner, and once they get used to it, move up to the next levels. And with that being said, there will be hunger. So a stamina bar. And as the game gets harder, so will the hunger. So you might have to do more to keep your hunger status up and your stamina and all that. So that's basically what they're saying. A lot of people are nervous about the city building. I love city building, but that's because I have a background in city building. So I just love to build games. I play, stuff like, like if you like stuff like, City Skylines, if you like putting things together like in Animal Crossing, you just like building and creating something that is yours. But I know a lot of people get overwhelmed by that because building can take some hours in a game. And not everybody is up for that. They don't want to do that. They just want a storyline. They just want a game to play. They just want everything to be there. And Pathea has recognized that it's giving some, players some anxiety. So they have addressed that. They said that the story is the top priority. And if the building is getting too overwhelming for the characters, they're willing to back that up a little bit. And focus more on the core narrative. So you will have some characters basically that you that will help you. So you will get resources and stuff like that. Typically in the beginning you're getting everything by yourself, or you don't want to play multiplayer. But now you can actually select people that will help you get the resources, and you'll have up to 3. And I guess because we could choose people, there's been some speculation, people want to know, will they lose those recruits? Pathea has said, no, you won't lose anybody that you don't want to lose. So from what I'm understanding, it sounds like people might come in and out of this town, and you can select who stays and who goes. Because you are governor. So what it's sounding like to me is basically how Animal Crossing was. Like you have your initial characters that are there, but then something comes up and then they just want to leave, and you can decide, you either try to keep them, make them stay there, like, hey, like I really like you, really want you to stay, or you can be like, I don't like you. You gotta go, bye. So I think that's basically how this construct is going to be as you build your town. Basically, we talked about the art style changing. Basically their players are grown up, so they're adapting to that. And it's been a big thing where people are like, I look like a child. Can we make, our characters look more like an adult? Or whatever, or if they have older characters, some people are like girling over those older characters and they want to marry them. So I think people feel a little better, not feeling so small. Like another issue was a lot of the female characters compared to the male characters, like Logan or whatever. It basically just looked like Logan was hugging a child, and I think that rightfully so, that made people feel uncomfortable. So that's why people are asking for more realistic builds. So it's not weird anymore. Let's see. Yes, there will be kids in the game, and they, just like in Sandrock, those kids will grow up to a certain age. Will the player character have full voice acting in the game? They've talked about that too. It'll be similar to Sandrock. So I think they're working on trying to see if they can get a little bit more voice acting from the character, but as of right now, it'll just be similar to Sandrock. Will there be more diverse and interesting NPCs? They are committed to keep the NPCs engaging and diverse. Basically, they just want to make sure, everybody feels included. So we saw one of the guards, she was a person of color. I know I've read in the Discord, a lot of people were asking for more diversity in hairstyles, I think skin tones and everything like that, just so they can really immerse themselves and feel like they're not being left out. That's something that I did notice in Sandrock. Yes, Sandrock, they did a great job, I feel like, in diversity and including everybody from every walk of life and personalities. But the only thing I guess that kind of bothered me a bit was, to me, it seemed like people who represented me didn't really have core romance, and in the DLC they didn't really get a whole lot of stuff for their outfits, and I was like, at least one of them. You should have given at least one. And I was like, how is this overlooked? But whatever. So I think that's something that people definitely noticed, and they kind of do want to see some more diversity. I think it does do a good job. They do try their best, and as time goes on, they try to get better, So again, with the character customization, I touched on that earlier. If they get more backing and they get more money later on in the game, I think we'll be able to change our characters' height and weight. I don't know if you guys have ever played Coral Island, but there's a lot of sliders in that, and I guess there's a lot of sliders in a lot of games these days. Will there be more or new NPC photo poses? They're working on the photo poses. To be honest, I thought about it and I'm like, I don't want too much in the beginning. I don't want them to be overwhelmed. I'd rather them have a core game and it's a good game, and then kind of just start focusing on all that little stuff later, through updates. I love the updates, but I just don't want the game to be delayed because we're worried about poses or a photo. But yeah, I mean, that's just me personally. And then what types of pets will be available? Just like previous games, there will always be, like they said, interesting pets for the players to interact with. So here, I just kind of want to go over what they already have on their Steam page. So basically they talk about, be the governor of a brand new settlement on the fringes of the free cities facing the almighty Dubos Empire. Recruit settlers, build infrastructure, tame the wilds, and lead your people to become a new cornerstone for the Alliance in this adventure-packed civilization RPG. I'm really looking forward to this game. On my wish list. So, and again, Kickstarter starts basically tomorrow. And the release date, to be announced. Basically, they're going over, I don't know how they're sure, but they're just basically saying, based off of what we've seen so far, it's like it's going to be a great game, which I agree. So about this game, welcome to Evershine, the third game of the My Time series. Evershine is a 3D open world simulation RPG that takes place in a wholesome post-apocalyptic world 330 years after the Day of Calamity destroyed civilization. After surviving the nuclear winter for hundreds of years underground, people are finally picking up the peace again. Yeah. There's engaging stories. I love how they go over, some screenshots here. So basically it's saying the story takes place 3 years after the events of my time at Sandrock and my time at Portia. The Duvos Empire has taken over the Orzu ruins, which the principality of Pathea also claims as their own. Leading to a tense situation just north of the Alliance of Free Cities border in the northern Ifala region, which we saw earlier that Ragnar was overlooking. The Alliance initiated the North Development Plan to move more settlers into the region in an effort to establish a new city-state for a better defensive posture. I guess against her. It is calling on anyone interested in new opportunities to move to the region. Okay, all about the romances down here. Okay, perfect. I'm glad I can share this with you guys. It's one thing me talking about it, but I want you to see what I'm seeing. So develop romantic relationships with 8 core charming NPCs, including 2 chosen by backers' votes. So if you join the Kickstarter, I don't know how Kickstarters work, so I'm about to find out tomorrow, and there will be updates as things come out. And experience heart-pounding moments in every interaction. Beyond romance, you'll meet over 20 unique NPCs. I think that's the whole game, because I think Portia and Sandrock had maybe 30-40 NPCs, so they had a lot, which can be a lot for people trying to interact with so many PCs while trying to build a town. So I think they did lower that. Everybody has their own personality and ready to be a part of the settlement. As you invite them in, you'll forge deep, lasting bonds that grow stronger over time. We don't know what this guy looks like yet, but I think he'll look similar or have a personality. We all need somebody, a man with long hair. So, that will be him. He'll be similar to Fang, from what I'm guessing and speculating. This is Tia. I think she'll be like a shop owner. Ragnar, the adventurer. Avery, Mr. Commander Man. Freya, farmer girl, and Panna. She will be she's kind of like a monster hunter, so I think that's where Logan will be appearing in the game. I think she has some one-sided beef with Logan. I think her personality will be similar to Elsie. She's just going for it, which might get her in trouble sometimes. And then, of course, when the Kickstarter pops off, once I guess who pay for it will vote on who the 2 new characters will be. Core romanceables. I don't know. Maybe I was wrong about the other guy, unless they're keeping the other guy. I guess we'll see if there's a picture later. Interesting. Okay, be the leader they need. You'll be playing as the governor of the Evershine settlement, recruited into the North Development Plan by the project's director, Mr. God. That's who I thought we were going to be romancing, but I guess not. Wait, if I can capture him. That's him. No, that was the other guy, I think. That I thought we could marry. Your job will be to build up the infrastructure either by prefabs or DIY. So, for some of us that are more creative, you can create your own stuff to look however you want your town to look. For those who get stressed out trying to figure out, like, color schemes and all that and what matches, they already have prefabs built for you. So you're like, I want this house here, governor's house here, and this is how it's going to look. Build it. I think that's basically going to be the layout. Recruit the right settlers, tame the wilds, and build up your settlement into a strong presence next to the border. Along the way, you will find friendship, adventure, responsibility, and maybe even romance. We want you to leave the game feeling like you have accomplished something great together with your people in your town. But yeah, this will be more like small knit, close storyline. Yeah, DIY building. So this is why I believe that was like, this here is going to be their prefab. That's just like a snippet of their prefab, I believe. And then over time, I think you could probably change like the roof color, the trim, and all that jazz. Choose from prefab designs for quick building or construct your home piece by piece. Your followers and residents will help bring your vision to life, making each settlement unique. Whether you prefer simplicity or customization, have the freedom to build the home of your dreams. Yeah. This is where they talk about the multiplayer co-op. So this is like, hanging out with your friends, your buddies, or whatever, running around town. And of course, you can marry one of your friends if they're playing. Or your partner if they're playing with you. Whichever you choose. You can play through the story of this game with up to 3 other players together, construct the town from scratch, recruit helpful settlers, engage in battles, share romantic moments, dive into long-lost dungeons, and shape the legacy of the Evershine settlement. Everything else. Customize your character. Talked about that earlier. Maybe you could make them as tall or short. Small or round, is whatever you want. Whatever you want. More diversity. High quality art direction. Unique settlers with their own stories. Assign up to 3 followers that can help you with battle, acquisition, or construction. I will be people to help me construct. That's where it's going. And help me build it. Lots of seasonal events and mini games, even more side quests that flesh out the world. I don't like this saying. It makes my ears. Okay, climb and glide anywhere, and so much more. Basically, all this is to be determined. So yeah, that's basically it. Thanks for watching this video. Thanks for listening to everything. I guess I'll check out this Discord real quick, see if there's any new updates, but I think that was basically it. They did a good job covering everything and putting all the information out. So again, this is Angel Doll. Please follow, my Twitch, my YouTube. Sorry, I'm sick. Came out of nowhere, but I was like, I'm gonna do this video. I like to have as much information as I can, and I'm that person that wants to sometimes listen to what's going on, what's out there. I made this video for you guys. So yeah, it should be Angel Doll Speaks on both my YouTube channel and my Twitter channel. And as the game goes on, I would love to basically bring this to you guys on Twitch. I'll definitely try to do some weekly updates on this game, because I really like this series, and as somebody who loves building and has a background in it, like I'm so excited. I'm so excited for the green. I'm so excited for the building. I'm so excited for the extra help. Like collecting resources and all that jazz. I am super excited. Alright, you guys. Again, thanks for watching my video. Alright. And stay tuned.